very new. Aside from that video, what kind of things have you heard thus far while we're waiting for this thing to maybe boot up or whatnot? Nothing? Brand new?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds pretty cool, and when you're talking to homeowners, they're used to working with secured products. So that would be like the Hero program, secured financing, it's secured via your house. It's a line item on your property tax bill. And the more comfortable you are with being able to articulate what the Hero program is about, that builds confidence for your homeowners as well. I mean, really, when you get to telling the story about the Hero program, it's what it is and how it can help people. That realistically is, the hardest part of the sale is the end part where you're actually saying, hey, you need to pay for this somehow, right? What if we can make that the part that you look forward to? What if we can make that end part, the worst, hardest part of the sale, something that's actually really cool, a way that you can add value to the sale. Hey, if you do things this way, there are certain things that end up that work very well. Is there? Yeah.
I'll take a look. Patrick will take care of that.
Very nice. Let me get my IT hat on. Doesn't help. Appreciate it, guys. But from that video, who got something from that video? Yes?
You can pay back your loan and your property taxes.
Yeah.
So it's a standard amount, you know what you're paying.
Why would we want to do that?
It makes it easier for the home buyer and it makes you more trustworthy. They know that their rates aren't just gonna fluctuate each month.
There's a lot of stuff out there. Thank you. There's a lot of stuff out there with fluctuating rates. There's a lot of different ways to finance things. And when you have the credibility of a public-private partnership, right? Notice that there was somebody from the government in Riverside saying that this is something that we voted in. It is a public-private partnership, right? So Hero is available all throughout Los Angeles, all throughout the different municipalities because it was voted in here. Because local elected officials want a way for people to reinvest in their homes. And hey, it's actually pretty good for the economy as well. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different contractors who are doing big jobs, windows jobs, HVAC jobs, roofing, everything that's energy efficient that improves the local housing stock, improves local property values, and lessens the amount of stress that you have on the grid, which is a big topic nowadays with all the wildfires, right? So this is a program that pays off. This is a good, sound policy. So we need to make sure that we're using it the right way. We want to make sure that we're presenting it in such a way that you can show the value of this program and tell this wonderful narrative, and people say, you know what, that sounds great, I want to do that, that's good. So we could do maybe like a powwow and I could show you guys these things, but I'm going to wait for IT because really it is good to have like a projector. IT is good.
Yes.
Believe it, the countdown is on already to the 2016 North American International Auto Show.
I cannot believe it. So I came up from San Diego today, all the way up.
So it's in WR5?
Oh.
Yeah, no, all the way straight shot up, man. Straight shot up, and then start cutting over west, somewhere like past West Covina, around there. So good stuff.
A lot of standing water on the highway.
Not actually. They're doing a good job. I left early, so that helps. But now, especially around here, there's just everybody's on the road going about 8 miles an hour. So I gotta start early. It's fun.
You need to log into that corporate computer?
No, I got like a demo environment that works pretty well. Or I could use, if you want to plug it in from yours, if you guys have like a Hero login, I could just work off of your guys' tools.
Yeah, you can do that.
Raph.
Alright, John, can you get this stuff on the screen now? It wasn't up there. I'll just plug this back in. Oh, that should be it. Would you plug it in through the stuff? Oh, this back here.
Also, while we're waiting for that, I believe in cheat sheets. I believe that I'm not a very interesting person. You guys are going to forget everything that I have to say almost immediately as soon as I leave the door. So I believe in giving people notes, hence the notebooks. This is for downloading the One app. All right, one app is a quick, easy way to apply from tablet, phone. Thank you. Everything. Devices. How to apply for the Hero program in an easy way of verifying income. Make sure everybody has the ability to pay with the Hero program, all through one easy app. I believe in making things simpler. Always, putting out good resources, everything else like that. Pretty good. Source computer. So one thing that you guys should know about yourself is you are a registered Hero contractor, and that has a certain amount of trust with it. That's a great thing. I've been working with Hero for the past 3 years up in Northern California, and it's not just Uncle Buck in his truck and Two Nail Johnson. It's real contractors. It's people in the community doing great work. There's a lot of contractors that don't sign on to the Hero program because of our consumer protection, our hard line on it, and because we don't pay contractors until they sign off that everything is okay. The homeowner. We believe in that. We've made it a part of our process. And I'll tell you right now, it's cost us business, straight up. It's cost us a lot because some people just want an easy way. My job is to make this as easy as possible, make it as streamlined as possible with our consumer protection, so we get the best of both worlds. I really do think that this is the best vehicle for this because, what other form of financing? When's the last time Wells Fargo came out here and gave you a speech on consumer protection? I don't mean to rip on anybody, and I don't mean to educate it. Don't tell Wells Fargo. But seriously, when's the last time a finance institution came out here and talked about their values and talked about the reason why they want to see solar go up, or the reason why we have Hero financing in the first place is so we could put up more solar? I'll tell you a quick story. Down in San Diego, when I was selling solar, we had a $300 electricity bill, and this is going to happen to you guys. $300 electricity bill. Electricity is only going up, so a lot of people probably have that right now. And we have this family over on Skyline Boulevard in National City who wanted to go solar, and when you get that, it's the best feeling ever. It's indescribable. You're doing jump high fives and just like, we're going solar, this is great, you guys want this makes sense for you, you have a $300 bill, this is stupid, right? Let's get rid of this thing, man, let's sign up. And my company did not have the Hero program. I had heard about the Hero program, I knew about it, I was a professional in the field for a while, but our company hadn't signed up for it. And we go through the first round of looking for a way to pay for it, a financing product that pays for it, and they immediately, first one, fail. And we go in, other person on title, fail. And it's like all the ether gets let out of the room. It goes from jump high fives to just immediate sadness, like worse than the Super Bowl. Really, it sucks because the family wants to go solar and they made that decision. They've wanted to go solar for a long time, and you presented something that makes sense to them. And then we don't have a way to do it. When I learned about the Hero program, when somebody actually explained it to me, and what it was about, said, I don't know if I could explain that well. It's involved in taxes. I'm not a tax guy. I don't know. I was putting up barriers and walls to learning about it, and what I basically was missing in a lot of the static was the signal. This is a program that works. This is a program that over 100,000 people have used in the state of California. This is a program that's done over $1 billion in home energy upgrades, which is a major deal. And aside from all of that, if you were to tell me that, hey, I can get that family so long as they were paying their mortgage and they were paying their property taxes and doing good on that, and they lived in the house for a while, that they could have solar, they're paying their taxes, they just continue to pay it, instead of an ever increasing, SDG&E bill that just is going to wreck them. Yeah, I would definitely want that for my customer. I definitely would want something along those lines. I could think of hundreds of customers that I had talked to in the past where it's the same feeling over and over again. Not one stands out to me, but it's like, credit fail, sorry, and it's like, God, that sucks. You know, I know that this makes sense, and it makes more financial sense than see, you know, San Diego Gas and Electric, or Southern California Edison, or PG&E, Pacific Gouging Extortion, all that. You know, it's all bad. But yeah, no. If you were to tell me on top of that, you know, that person's actually eligible for a tax benefit. This is something that was voted in by San Diego. You know, like, why didn't we have this? It doesn't make any sense. So learning how to use this tool, learning how to use this and make this program easier to explain, make it simpler, make it more streamlined to use in the home, and you have backup. So you always have me. Everybody got my number from last time, right? Just in case, I'm just gonna like shout it out a bunch. Okay, figure out all the rest of this. Make sure that we all have it. You have all of those things. Why wouldn't you do this? You know, it just makes sense. But let me tell the story as soon as we get this thing up. Here. There. Can you see the cursor on that screen? Oh,
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
okay. pro.heroprogram.com. Anybody who has a pen and paper, you should write that down. pro.heroprogram.com. If you have it on a tablet, put it on a tablet, put it up and pin it to your favorites. This is now your favorite. There it is. Let's try, I don't know what your guys' email or password is. It's kind of like varsity, you know how they do like the kindergarten teacher thing where you like have to like read upside down? My mother-in-law is a kindergarten teacher, she tells me about this. You have to learn how to do that. It's kind of the same way. To learn how to type and speak at the same time. Let's see if that works. All right. So, this is your landing page, okay? This is your dashboard. This is where everything begins. When you go to pro.heroprogram.com with your login, you're going to get, at first, initially, you're going to get a quiz. It's on consumer protection. Will you use your powers for evil? No. Just check no on all the boxes. It's pretty self-explanatory stuff, guys. I'm not going to give you the answers. I want you to earn it. Seriously, though, it's very basic stuff, and you can't move on without answering the question right. So if you want, you just click it until it goes. So, but I would recommend looking at it. Know that we're just doing that for everybody. It's a very easy. It will take you about 2 minutes. But this is your logon page. So let's say you're leading up to an appointment. You're wondering what you want to do. I believe in getting the most information possible, right, ahead of time. I believe in, if it's possible, hey, homeowner, send me the electricity bill. You know, if I've got somebody already sending me the utility bill, that's a great thing. You know, I have a good relationship with them. I could start designing their system already. This works for me. But, what's up?
Turn this off.
Oh yeah, sure. That'd be great. Oh, that is awesome. But I want to know a little bit more, especially when it comes to the Hero program. Like, I want to know who in the home is eligible. Because you're going to get this, guys. You're going to get this quite a bit. Maybe not as much as I did. But you're going to go through an hour and a half of driving through traffic to get somewhere. And then you're going to go through 2 hours of a sales process. And when it finally gets to the end of it, you're going to have somebody say, well, I'll tell the owner. It's like, who are you? Like, wait a sec. No, I'm renting. It's like, you're kidding me. You just wasted my entire day. That makes no sense. You want to know who the owner is. So, KBYG, know before you go. It's right here. It's right here. You can click on it. You can put in your company. You can put in who you are. You don't have to, of course. It's all good. Just like doing this. And then an address. So let's look at 4966 Monroe Ave. Oh my gosh, pops right up. We hit next. Hey, good news. Looks like we're Hero approved. That right there means there's recently been changes. So we give 3 levels of, estimation on what we think the people are, like, basically 3 tiers. First tier is green. Green is great. Green is, there's probably nothing that's going to stop this, right? No extra conditions. We're looking good. They've been paying their property taxes. Everything is awesome. All of this is built on public source information. So there's no data mining or anything else like that. That means you're about 75% likely. We just moved into that house. This is my wife, Sylvia, and I. So we just moved in there. They see that it's changed a couple of times. They probably haven't gotten their first property taxes from us, but they see that we're on title. What does that tell me as a sales guy? These are the people. These are the key stakeholders, right? They're likely, it's 80% likely that they're going to qualify for Hero. And then we're looking at, 2 people that need to be there because we have 2 people on title who need to file the application. You could do it with 1 potentially. Call me if that happens in cases of emergency. Okay? We'll work it from there. I'm here to help you guys. So let's go down here to Proposal Plus. There's a couple other ways. You could click here, or you could just click Apply Now and apply. But we have Proposal Plus down here. I want to show you some other ways of getting to the proposal tool. If you're on here and you want to give somebody a very quick estimate, use this calculator. I'll show you this afterwards because this takes 20 seconds to get you a quick estimate. If you want to sell solar effectively and develop the narrative of Hero and close this deal, then you want to use the Proposal Plus. So, we're hitting on Proposal Plus. We enter a zip code. So this was designed by extremely smart people. Very smart people who are way smarter than me. They are space program-like people. I get to meet some of these guys some of the time. It's based on your feedback. It's very important that you guys give me feedback. Okay? It's important that you make use of my number. I want to be helping you guys not only with, your sales, getting paid, everything else like that, but I want to improve Hero. So please give me feedback. Hey, it took 30 minutes to get in hold of somebody. Hey, this, that, the other thing. Trust me, I've heard it all. Don't be shy. Okay? So let's start here. We're looking at ways that we can add value to the sale, right? First thing we do, let's look at our toolbox. Videos are a great third-party source, and this is the video that I would play for the Hero program, right? When I try to explain to people what I do on a day-to-day basis and what I try to, what's pace, if I'm at a bar or something like that, you're gonna have to order me another drink because it's gonna take like 15 minutes, right? It's gonna take a little bit. But if I want a concise, good way of explaining to people, this has never let me down in the home.
Imagine if you were still using the same computer that you had back in the 90s, or an old rotary phone. That would be really inefficient. The same can be said about the technology around your house. Heating and cooling systems, windows, doors, and roofing from 30, 20, or even 10 years ago are not nearly as efficient as the ones today. Upgrading to newer, more energy-efficient products can significantly lower your utility bills and make your home more comfortable. But despite these benefits, many homes remain stuck in the past. Why? Because the upgrades seem too expensive. That's where Hero financing from Renovate America comes in. Hero is the nation's leading PACE financing option.
Number 1.
PACE stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy and is provided in partnership with your local government to make it easier for homeowners to go solar or pay for energy-efficient upgrades. In some states, Hero financing can also be used for water conservation and hurricane protection. Hero financing is a win-win. Homeowners win because they can enjoy lower utility bills and greater comfort. Communities win because it helps create jobs, conserve vital resources, and reduce emissions. Unlike traditional financing options, Approval is based primarily on the equity in your home and your debt payment history, rather than your credit score. You can start your project with no money down, competitive fixed rates, and flexible term lengths. Another unique feature of Hero Financing is that payments are made along with your property taxes. You'll see an additional line item on your property tax bill, and the interest on these payments may be tax deductible. Sounds pretty good, but there's another important feature of Hero Financing: peace of mind. We only work with contractors who follow our industry-leading consumer safeguards and who have agreed not to be paid until you sign off that the project has been completed to your satisfaction. In other words, you're the boss. If you're not satisfied, we're not satisfied. So join the 100,000 plus homeowners who have taken advantage of Hero Financing. Our online application process can be completed in as little as a few minutes, unless of course you're still using that computer from the 90s. Go ahead, renovate America.
Boom. That is a fast way to get connected to what I would consider a good video showing what the Hero program is. Does that say everything, all the great benefits about the Hero program? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. There's no prepayment penalties. If you make a large payment, it'll re-amortize. It'll go straight to the principal and actually shrink your monthly payments. So if you have like a bonus, a Christmas bonus, the investment tax credit, or the money you save from the investment tax credit, you can actually use that to help pay off the Hero program, and your payments, your monthly payments, will get smaller. Basically, when you calculate payments for the Hero program, that's the most they're going to be, and they can get smaller from there. So these are great value adders that you can say to the homeowner. And I want to show you guys how to do that through this, right? So we've got that already, right? I think that you guys beat up the utilities. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Do you guys, like, have they been talking about, what to say about utilities and utility rates and everything else like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's solar. Our main competitor is the utilities, right? And they're awful. They want to stop your deal. Realistically, you try to get usage from somebody over the phone in San Diego, they want to turn you down. It's terrible. But what you can tell them, again, is third-party information. This is unbiased data, right? This is your utility bill. Now, the ways that utilities were supposed to go back in the day was like this, right? This is 20th century utilities. Flat, predictable, not really crazy, out of control raises. This is what happened after 2000. And now we're looking at what? Like a 30% spike in some places, and it stops at 2015. And you guys know what it's done since then, right? Or just generally as a guess, if you don't know. Do you think it's gone up or down? I think it's gone up. It has. Demonstrably, it has. In the way that you show them, you know what's actually gone up? These are all down here links to every time that the utilities raise your rates. So if you're in Southern California Edison, you can click on this link right here, and it will show you every time. Oh, it's a better example up in NorCal. Sorry, better yet, San Diego. You have to find this. This is the one that I'm used to. These are all the times they raise your rates. They raise your rates twice a month in not twice a month, once every other month in San Diego. If somebody told me that my car would come with payments that go up every other month, I wouldn't have bought that car. But we're kind of screwed with the utilities because you're beholden to them unless it's solar, right? Unless you have another way, energy efficient upgrades or solar, you have to kind of continue to go on this roller coaster. So, good thing to have here, it's down in your toolbox, okay? Utility rates and the Hero video, all down in the toolbox. Cool. So let's take a look at, I don't like the school of thought where you just slap down a price and say, here it is, guys. I don't like the idea of just saying, you know what, pull the Band-Aid off quick, surprise them, let's just put it down, right? Because the surprised mind will always say no, period. And it doesn't matter how you decide to surprise them, it could be a shock. oh my God, I thought that solar only cost $5,000. You know, I've had that happen to me in the home. Like, what do you mean it doesn't cost $3,000? What world are you living in? You know, are you kidding me? You have to be able to show value for why they would pay so much. So you don't do that by slapping down the sales price right there. You do that by building value. Monthly utility benefits. That's where you put in what their monthly average bill is. So what's your average bill that you guys deal with or would be dealing with? $400? We put out, you know what? Let's put out $300 and see if that works. You know, be kind to the utilities, right? We're going to be kind to the utilities here and say utility inflation rate isn't what it is, which is like, you know, 10 double digit. They say, look, it's got to be -6 to 6%. So again, when we're explaining this to the homeowner, we're giving a conservative estimate here, and we're giving a conservative estimate here. I am going to under-promise and over-deliver for you, right? So we'll put in a 5 on the utility inflation rate. Your utilities are only going up 5% a year, which they are. Let's look at what you have to save first, right? Let's take a look. If you click on utility benefits right here, it'll show you how much they save per year for 5 years. We hit totals. And in 5 years, this system will have saved you $19,892, which is pretty neat, all right? That's 5 years. Interest, compounding interest, at a conservative estimate of only going up 5% a year and a conservative estimate of your average utility bill, we're looking at this system saving you $171,818, right? That you aren't paying to Southern California Edison. This is money that you would be, another way to put it is, this is money that you're going to pay to Southern California Edison over 25 years. Look at that. Year 15 years from now, or year 10, $5,000 a month. That's nuts, right? So, now that we've kind of built a little bit of value saying, look, you would be saving, or you would be spending this money somewhere else, we can start putting in the sales price. So for a $300 bill, that's going to be a fairly large system. I don't know what your pricing is, but let's just say that our average ticket is somewhere around $30,000. Is that fair?
No.
Okay. So let's go for $30,000, right? So, big things here. They have their yearly payment right here, laid out for 5 years. You have what you would pay, the $30,000 plus interest, right here, down below at the totals, right? But let's look at this, net impact, right? Same numbers across the board. Let's factor in the utility benefits here with solar and see what happens to the $40,000 number. Even with the cost of interest, right? Even with the solar system plus interest over 5 years, if you look at what you're saving, 5 years it's paid off and you're all in the green. If you look at what you're saving here, you're saving $131,000. This, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, is what we call a home run, right? Congratulations, solar's a fit for you. It would be financially irresponsible not to do this, right? But wait, there's more. So we're making that case, and at the end of everything, I like to say fair enough so that we get agreement, right? When I'm done with saying utility rate, inflation rate is going up, conservatively, we want to under-promise, over-deliver, is that fair enough? Fair enough. That way you're sealing in agreement, and like this guy says, what is it? Master tie downs. That's how I tie things down, right? So, we're looking at estimated tax benefits. Now, tax bill. This is where it really becomes real for some people, what this is and how it's paid for. Because you said that it's paid via a line item on your property taxes. That's a little confusing. Some people have never seen their property taxes. For the zip code that I put in, this is my property tax. And if you can see right down here, we have hero financing. This is what it would look like on my property taxes. But let's draw attention for a little while to what else is on your property taxes, right? We got school districts, We've got, let's see here, waste management, lighting, sewage. I guarantee that my neighborhood would not be as nice if we didn't have those things, right? The property values wouldn't be as nice if we didn't have working sewage, obviously, right? So that's a part of the HERO program. That's why it's allowed to be a line item on your property taxes. This is a public good, okay? This was voted on by your community. If you do this to your house, if you upgrade this to your house voluntarily, you can have this as a line item on your property taxes. That's awesome, along with all these other things that we voted on as public goods. This is the IRS tax topic, 503C, that says that just like your home mortgage interest, you can deduct that, right? And a lot of people in the state of California do, because housing's expensive in California, right? It's a great benefit. The same tax topic for the IRS that covers home mortgage interest deduction also covers HERO, right? It's a temporary, voluntary line item on your property taxes. So that same way, you can deduct the interest, or you're eligible to deduct the interest. Again, I'm not a CPA. I don't play one on the weekends. Never give anybody any tax advice, period, right? But when you go to H&R Block, when you go to, TurboTax actually has a great section on PACE, right? When you go to any of these tax preparers or your cousin Joe or whatever, right? This is what they're gonna show you, because they're smart people. They're gonna show you the tax topic that covers it and say, yeah, you can get that potentially. So there you have it. That's another way that we can kind of get across to people, look, if you were worried or you want to see your CPA about it, please do your diligence. These are your financial decisions, absolutely. This is what they're going to show you, right? They're going to show you tax topic 503, and then come tax time, when you want to get a deduction or something along those lines, you show them this. Hey, how much can we get for this? And if they're a good tax guy, maybe they can get you something, right? All right. So this is for the interest deduction. If you want to put in this information, right? And we put in kind of stock information, federal tax bracket 12%, state tax bracket 6%. Mess around with this. If they want to get into that granular level detail, and your solar customers will, they're educated buyers. If you want to get into that granular level detail on what they estimated would get back in terms of a write-off, right, with the HERO program, then do it. Then we click on estimated tax benefits, and in the first year alone, we get $678 in potential tax benefits, right? I mean, if you're gonna do this anyways, if it's gonna save you, what, $131,000 over the course of 25 years, if this is a knock it out the park decision, I mean, do it. Also, cherry on top, you get tax benefits. Holy mackerel, that's great, right? So who here thinks right now, PACE program, HERO, pretty great? You can show your hands, you can say, Jeff, get out of here. It's all right, right? It's not bad. So that is price conditioning. That is showing people what it is. This is the yearly report. Now here is the trick, okay? Price conditioning. This is a high number. You have a poker face on, okay? Because this is a 5-year term for financing. You've shown people what it is and all of these great benefits, and they are pretty much sold on a 5-year term, right? It's gonna be a high number. No emotion, period, right? None. And the reason why we do this is because we gauge their level of comfortability. So if we're going for a monthly payment, and it's $690 or $679 a month, for me, myself, that takes steak off the table. That's not gonna work, right? That's uncomfortable for me as a buyer, right? So what do we do then? Because we're not order takers, we're salespeople, right? What would we do then, right?
What is a monthly payment? That would work for you.
First time, that is the first time that has ever happened in terms of a training. Ask a question. We're salespeople, we're professionals, right? Well, what would be comfortable for you? And then they'll say, half. They could have any number in their mind, but commonly I see people say about half that. If you could cut that down by about half, that'll work. Now beforehand, if you did not set that expectation, if you did not go through this entire process in terms of conditioning them and getting price conditioning and showing the value of all these things, they would have said, well, I want a $50 a month payment for my electricity bill, or I want it to be free. I don't want to pay for anything, right? But you have to provide the value. That is consultative style selling, right? So we have to be able to show that to people. Say like, okay, well, we have that, and then show, well, this is the price for that thing that is inherently valuable. Okay, what would be your price? Easy way to do this, we go up here to our compare button. They say about half. I know it's going to be about the 15-year. So again, just for a reminder, it was about $679 a month. You subtract the tax benefits and subtract the utility benefits, it's only about $322 a month. Net impact, but still, $679 a month. So let's look at, okay, so that's about half. That's less than half. That's way less than half. And notice that it's all underneath their $300 a month utility bill. So they're net positive day one, right? Sold, done. This makes overwhelming sense. Wait a second, can you pay it off early? Of course you can. If you want to pay it off in 5 years, do it. Are there any other benefits with that? Yes, if you make big lump payments of over $2,500, it'll go straight to the principal, and then let's say you're doing $276 a month, right? You make a $5,000 payment or a $3,000 payment. You got a Christmas bonus, you got, I don't know, you sold the truck, whatever it is, right? You got some extra money, you make a down payment. All right, this goes from 276 down to 250, and then from 250 down to 225, the more you save over the years, right? That's a huge benefit. It's a tremendous benefit, incrementally being able to shorten, or not shorten, but reduce your payments. And explain that to them. That's a huge value. So, there's more, naturally. Who here has heard of the investment tax credit? Who can give me like a good primer on the investment tax credit? Just like a quick, what it is. All right, guys, so check this out. The investment tax credit. This is not a check from the government, okay? You are not going to get a check. That would be a rebate. That's what a tax rebate is, right? A credit is money off from what you have to pay, right? You are credited such and such amount, right? Again, not a CPA. Don't play one on the weekends, right? Ask your CPA for more hope. But that's what the investment, the ITC is. So let's go down here into more, because there's more. Solar tax credit. We turn that on. The investment tax credit is good for 30% of your of the price of the system. So for a $30,000 system, it's going to be $9,000, right? 9K. So let's go back, and again, if you want to get away from this, you don't have to scroll and hit these boxes. You could just click off it, and it'll be fine. Let's go under additional benefits. Now, say that they get the full investment tax credit the first year. Let's say they're paying like $10,000 in taxes and they get $9,000 off. It's not a check. That comes out to $750 a month, additional benefits. Or $9,000. $750. Pretty rad, right? So what term, real quick, what term looked best to you? Let's go back to compare here. What term looked best to you? Which one do we want to go with?
15.
15. So let's go to the 15-year term because it's under $300. Maybe not. All right, I lied. But but still, that's the one that you want. So 15-year, right? Let's look at what happens if we apply money saved, $9,000 in money saved that you didn't have to pay because of the investment tax credit, to paying this down or paying this off. We hit pay down, and your payments go from $336 to $247. That's a substantial jump, right? That's the magic of reamortization. And sometimes people don't get that until, or homeowners don't get that until you show them. Look, if you pay down $9,000 on this, you go from something that you were comfortable with to something that you could practically forget, right? That's awesome. And just for the sake of example, I want to show you guys, look, there's no prepayment penalties. If we're using the 25-year, right? we're going up here. The pay down, you're $203 a month, and you were spending $300 conservatively a month for electricity. That's a smoking deal, guys. That is awesome. That is incredible. I would take that all day, every day, right? So my recommendation is, and okay, so we've got all of the rest of this stuff. We've got the investment tax credit. Any questions so far on any of the subjects that I've gone over thus far? My suggestion, my honest suggestion, is for you guys to pin the dashboard to your web browser, and then play with this, okay? I have my way of doing things. The way that you get comfortable going through things is to practice, because every time you get sent out on a lead, that costs the company money, but practice is free. I have a theory that people never rise to the occasion, especially when it's stressful. People don't rise to the occasion under circumstances of stress, right? They go to their level of training, right? If you've been trained at a high level, you will go to that high level of training. If you didn't do any training or didn't prepare in any way, you will go to whatever level it is when under stress. Home sales for solar with $30,000 tickets, that is very stressful at times, right? No lies. Not all like everything on the table, right? Incredible job. I love my job. I love my job selling solar. So stressful, right? Sometimes. But I found the more that I prepared, the more that I went through these tools and practiced my narrative, practice when I pressed a button on each one of these things, I had a story to tell about it. I had something to convey value in a consultative manner and ask questions along the way, right? If we're able to do that with this and make it your own style, that's what you need. Because at the end of a long presentation, you're a long, home visit, you want to be able to rip through these things quickly, or you want to be able to go smoothly, rather. No surprises, no alarms, no nothing else. Smooth, right? So, you can hit apply from here, and it'll take you right to the processing, right? Easy way to show people how to do things. So again, quick and dirty. I know we've got recordings and everything else of this. Quick, easy way of doing this. Your sales price goes up here, right? When you click these buttons, this number for the term will pop down. You can change terms over here. Mess around with it, guys. Oh, sorry. You have to do it in year mode for it to adjust. Investment tax credit, pay down, all the rest of these things.
Did you already, I probably wasn't here when did you go over it as how the savings over time, 15 years?
Yes.
You went over that?
Yeah.
Can you show that, what it would look like for 15 years?
Sure, yeah.
So they can see that as well?
Absolutely. So for 15 years, let's just take a sample here. And again, this is without the pay down, right? This is your regular standard hero. I mean, we're looking at the very bottom of this thing, and again, you don't see the totals unless it's in year. So total, this is what it is when you're paying for, like large items for 15 years. It's quite a bit in terms of interest, but let's do something to mitigate that. Let's do $565 for the first 4 years in terms of your tax benefits as a write-off estimated. And again, that puts how you do it down here. The way to get that information is through the tax tab. Utility benefits, first year it's $3,600 and then it just goes up. What happened over here? All that got erased. Oh, hold on a second, that was fast. Okay, so $8,000 right there. I took away $8,000. Utility benefits. Okay, your net positive 97 grand. I think this makes sense.
So what that green number means, 177 is what? They say what?
Oh, this right here is what they would be paying to Southern California Edison. That's another way to put it. It's the fear of loss, guys.
Yeah.
If we're looking at like actual sales, like fear of loss, hey guys, by the way, this is a conservative number of what you're going to be paying in a bill that you can't control. Period. For your electricity. You have zero control over this stuff. And that really gets people steamed, especially around Orange County, because they like control over everything. I like to pick on Orange County. I'm sorry if anyone's from Orange County. But like seriously, they like to have control over everything. They own their house, they own their car, they own all these things. They know the numbers. They've got it all planned out, fiscally responsible. The utilities drive them up the wall because they can't tell what's coming next, and they know it's going to be bad.
So in
Right?
the course of 15 years, this customer's gonna pay $171,000
To a bunch of crooks.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Bear in mind too, we got this whole additional benefits thing. You can keep that. I mean, I'm not very smart with my money. I probably would spend this on like a boat or some like beat up truck or just something stupid. $9,000. You can take it whatever you want to do with it in terms of the ITC. That's your savings. That's your money, right? But my wife, who's way smarter than I am, would say, why don't we use that to pay off the stupid solar, Jeff? And I would reluctantly oblige instead of getting a boat.
So when you have a customer that's been in a home for what, 5 years,
Oh,
10 years already, you can pop the 10-year and let them know, right, Jeff?
What's up?
Somebody who's been there already 5-10 years in a home, you can actually, this is how much you already paid the power company in 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, that's true. You
So
can
it's
use that
good.
tool this way too.
You can use it this way, but then also you already
Bear in
making
mind.
them richer.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good way of getting rid of all these things. Like if we want to get, say, a 10-year estimate, we switch the term over to 10, put it on yearly, take out price. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say play with this thing and mess around with it so that we can do this all quickly, right? 10 years expected. Oh, the reason why it's going down to 25 is because we put down the expected product life is 25. So, again, guys, $45,000, 10 years worth of payments. I bet people don't think about that because they just think of utilities or the electricity in their home as they kind of take it for granted, right? They don't think it's something that you could actually improve upon. They don't think that this is something that you could get better potentially than the utilities. It's just the utilities, right? We're here to show them, hey, not only is there another way, it's the other way that you were thinking about going, solar, right? And there's a feasible way of doing this. We show them all the different parts of it, the tools. We show them, yes, indeed, these guys are awful. We could beat that point home with a hammer. But
so the more they wait, the more they wait, it's gonna cost them.
Yeah.
Right? Let me think about it, right? Let me think for another year.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost you another $3,000 something to think about it for the year.
You're going to get that objection quite a bit.
Yeah.
You're going to get the objection, well, now's not the time, right? I've heard now's not the time thousands of times, right? Like it's, everything works, but now's not the time. It's because they don't see the path forward yet. It's because they might be thinking in their mind, like, well, I'm going to get this amount of money coming in maybe 3 months from now. I don't know, I don't know if this is going to be the best deal. They're hemming and hawing about it. The barriers are still up. The objections are still up, right? We need to find what they are. Do a large discovery phase, and it pays to do this at the very beginning. Just do discovery. You guys are professionals. You guys are sales reps, right? Just like a doctor, a psychiatrist, or a lawyer asks you questions, you ask them questions. How long have you been in the house? How high is the electricity in the wintertime? How high is it in the summertime? What's it at right now? Gauge all of these things. There's a whole list of things that you can get in terms of the discovery phase. What do you want to pay even? Like, what are your ideas with this? How long have you been thinking about solar? Have you seen any other bids? All of these are really good questions to ask at the very outset so that you can kind of get a roadmap to your sale.
That's a good example because one thing you don't have to tell them directly. You can be like, I had a customer who was thinking about solar for the last 5 years, but he found that once I explained everything on that, this has cost him over $10,000 for thinking about it the last 5 years. And obviously you know that their homeowner who's been there 5-10 years. Guess how much it's been costing them now to go solar, right? So it's a no-brainer, like you're saying. It's a no-brainer to make a switch and saving and $171,000
Fear of
back
loss.
in their pocket.
Yeah. No, fear of loss is major, guys.
It's better than the 401k.
Actually, you know, you
can even
can.
I touch on that stuff too. I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah,
another-
no, you can speak to that.
You can go, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing, right?
Potentially, you can speak to that because really, where you're looking at financial decisions mean where you're allocating money, right? And if you're allocating money in terms of reinvesting in the home that you already have, you're already non-liquid good here that you have and you want to pay off anyways. This is your place. This is the biggest financial decision that you've made, your home. Why aren't you reinvesting in it? Like, why aren't you reinvesting in it in the way that gives you the most possible return on it, right? Not only through taxes, federal and local, right? But we're looking at low interest rates across the board, and if they ask you what your interest rates are, well, I love this. This is the fun part. Again, compare. Show rates. Where are they? Buddy. Oh, I didn't put anything in yet. So $30,000. Nope, those aren't it. You guys have custom rates. This is
That's
the
what
demo
everybody
tool.
else gets. Standard
That's
rates.
actually, you guys have, so your guys is 15 years, 3.99. Your 20 year is 4.99, and your 25 year is 5.49. We want to do business with you guys because you're a trusted contractor. We like you guys. We've done business with SaveCal in the past, and you're a preferred contractor with us. So we give you lower rates, period. We don't have any sort of compliance problems with you. You've never caused any problems for the public-private partnership. So that's why we give you guys better deals. Yeah, so pay no attention to these. That was the favorite part of mine because I love showing your guys' like, you know, it's just like, all right, check this out. We negotiated these rates. It's good. So
you guys know we're not lying, right? We're not lying.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
get the rates.
yeah. So again, who here has an hour, or better yet, 20 minutes to spend for like a month? 20 minutes a day to spend for a month. If I'm gonna give you like $500 at the end of the month, who has 20 minutes a day to do that? Okay. So imagine that's something like more like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, right? You have 20 minutes a day, right? How much time would you spend? Realistically, if we're talking about $2,000 to $3,000 a month in terms of being a wizard with this, in terms of being a master. I recommend this tab right here. This is Hero Certification, right? All you guys, it's probably already done, but all the guides, all the courses, everything that we have, and a certificate saying you are Hero qualified. So that's mine. Took all these classes. I got learned. It's awesome, right? And honestly, it does make a huge difference because not only, I mean, yeah, certificate is a piece of paper, whatever, but if you're able to communicate the value prop of the Hero program and you're able to handle all of their objections, this is a great thing. You know, it's a great tool to be able to do all that. And again, like I said, my philosophy, train at a high level, right? It's 20 minutes a day and it means like selling what? One a week at least? That's great. I would do that all day. So, I think that's about it. One other thing that, oh, calculator. Important thing to know about the Hero program. Oh no, hold on a second. I gotta go back to proposal. Okay, nuances to the Hero program. Make sure this is recorded, okay? You want to show them what they pay on their first payment, okay? Because we have a process when you apply, right? You go through a first level of, application, and then you go through an income verification process. Because we want everybody who applies for Hero or qualifies for Hero to be able to pay off their assessments. That's consumer protection, right? We take it so seriously that it would cost us business to be able to do that, right? But we want to make sure that everybody has the ability to pay, naturally. I don't think any other financing institution does this, but that's who we are. We're Hero. We can't mess up that name. So, what we do is we verify the income, and once the income is verified, right, the next step is adding product. So we would call in or use your portal to, go to adding product and everything else, and you guys handle that on the back end pretty well. Okay, so most of this is all through Patrick. Once we're applied and approved, then we're pretty much okay. There's one more thing that you want to prepare your homeowner for, and that's our welcome call. During our welcome call, we go over, right? We go over specifically, hey, look, this is a line item on your property taxes. This is, this, that, the other thing. We go through our script of basically welcoming them to the HERO program, telling them how much they're going to pay in interest, telling them how much they're going to pay in terms of monthly payment. The reason why we do this, guys, is because some people have messed up in the past, and we're a public-private partnership, and we don't want to mess up, right? We want to make sure that everything is good. People, other companies that have been since kicked out of the HERO program, right, and I'm proud to say that, have been kicked out of the HERO program because they weren't accurately showing what everything is. We want to make sure that they get that over the phone call, right? And we want to make sure that the homeowner also, understands everything. This works conversely too, guys. This is something that you can work in the sale. They're going to give you a phone call. You want to know why? Because they're maniacal about consumer protection. They want to make sure they're protecting the little old lady down the street. They want to make sure that they've written this into their bylaws as a company, and they actually pushed for legislation to protect people with this sort of financing. So this is why we do this. They're going to give you a welcome call, right? Congratulations. It's going to be right before you even sign. They want to give you the welcome call and make sure everything checks out. This is what they go over in the welcome call, right? This is why some contractors don't want to use the HERO program, because they're worried that this is going to tank their deal or whatever it is. The surprise mind will always say no. If you explain this to them, if you explain them, look, this is what's going to be gone over, then it's easier. So, we've got the 25-year term. So, big thing about this, breakdown page. Let's say we've decided on the 25-year as it is right here, right? We could pay it off. They're planning on getting the lowest possible payment, and then they can pay it off, say, year 15, or they have a plan to pay it off in year 10. Whatever they want, there's no prepayment penalties. This payment can only get smaller. We've driven that point home, right? So, we go to the breakdown. The important thing about this number is that this includes principal, interest, and fees. You have to drive this point home with your customer, because otherwise they think fees are added on top of this, and it's hard to explain, right? This payment, if you're cool with this payment, this includes principal, interest, and fees. This is a public-private partnership. There's going to be fees, okay? The public part. Let's go to it. So, you have a program admin fee, an initial admin fee, and a recording fee, right? This is part of what comes with any sort of financing. If somebody says they have no fees in their financing, they're lying. They just have a different set of guidelines that cover them. We have the ones that show everybody everything, right? So we have a program admin fee, initial admin fee, and recording fee. The important thing is, what is the important thing? PIF, principal, interest, and fees, is in here. It's all incorporated into your monthly payment, okay? I repeat myself a lot. It's because I want to drive the point home. Make sense? Everybody copacetic? Radical? Okay. So, that is what it adds up to. Your first payment for the HERO program is not going to be, if it's done this half before February, your first payment for the HERO program is not going to be until November 2019. That's a benefit, okay? I see that as a major benefit. You're telling me that I'm not going to start paying for any of this until November 2019. Yes, you have a full year off your utility bill and any sort of payment for it. Yes, that's all completely true. November 2019 is when their first payment is due. Now, when you start a loan, when does interest usually start accruing?
Right away.
Exactly.
First, yeah.
Exactly. As soon as that thing gets signed, interest is started, right? Think of the HERO program in a similar sort of way. Interest starts accruing on this immediately, right? So your first payment with the $276 a month due on November 2019 is going to be $3,308. Does that make sense? Right? Your first payment's going to be big, okay? Now, let's say we're talking about the investment tax credit as well, right? Hey, you know what? The money that you save with the investment tax credit on your taxes will help pay for this. I want to show you this so that there's no alarms, no surprises. And by the way, somebody's going to call you for a welcome call before you even sign your papers and make sure that you know about this, right? Why do people still use this? Because this is just a smart financial decision, right? The HERO program is just that good to continue for people to be able to blow through that first thing, right? Your first payment's going to be a little bit much because it's the payments leading up to that. And because it doesn't get recorded on your property taxes for a full year, right? That's when you start paying, November 2019. Any questions on that whatsoever? Anything? It's an objection that you guys are going to get in the home, okay? So I want to make sure that